We welcome you back into our Pioneer postgame. The Pioneers fall here in Game 2 today to the Young Harris Mountain Lions, final of 80-68. Joined by Pioneer coach Roger Hodge, and I'm sure the home debut was supposed to be a whole lot better and all kinds of stuff like that. But again, the effort, the determination, a Young Harris team that, kind of comes in here, and I felt like this was a game in which you coaches are creatures of habit. You watch film and they were able to kind of manipulate a little bit of a game plan today, and I thought they did a good job. They handled your pressure very well in this game, especially in that first half.
They were very well prepared. To be honest, they outplayed us in just about every phase of the game. I've known Lindsay a while. She's a very good coach. I'm not surprised at that whatsoever, and give them credit. They were prepared and did what they needed to do.
On top of that, I felt like we gave them some opportunities, and what I mean by that was we didn't possess. You're not teaching kids to come in here and throw the ball away in the half-court offense, and I don't feel we did a great job in that in the half-court.
Would 100% agree. I mean, 26 turnovers, and, we did force 23, but when you give up 26 on your own and you have that many possessions left on the table, it's hard to win.
And that's the thing. You throw away possessions, you throw away opportunities to score, and that was it. You're trying to do that. You're trying to eliminate a lot of that for them. I felt like the rebounding, and it's weird because you take the shots, but your guards have to rebound too, and I know that's probably what you got to get, and we didn't get that type of second chance opportunity from long-range shots today.
Well, and completely agree. I mean, I told them at halftime that the film might not necessarily be really pretty in terms of their effort on the offensive glass, and that's one thing that we emphasize. So obviously, I'm really disappointed we didn't do a better job there.
And I know you do that because I know that's one of the things. Listen, if we're going to shoot it, we got to go get it,
sure.
And that's it. And then the other thing that I noticed today that, as a coach, would be just transition D. I think the back end, they were able to get some cheap ones, especially early. We had a little momentum going, and then it seemed like they were able to throw it over the top of us and again, just kind of leak out and got some easy looks.
Sure, and that goes back to execution of what we were trying to do system-wise. We did better with that the second half, but it was because we made wholesale changes in what we were doing in terms of pressure. Yeah. So, didn't want to have to do that, shouldn't have had to do that, but you're absolutely right. It hurt us big time, especially in the first half.
Now, that's a lot of stuff that's early here in the year. What's really good about that, it's a bunch of fixable stuff.
Sure.
They can be coachable. What I loved about it is that there was great effort throughout. I'll highlight Carly Wilson. I think she moved well without the ball. I felt like she also defensively moved well. I still think there's probably some communication things that we're going to get to and adjust to a little bit, but really impressed with how she moved and how she handled her game today.
And Carly is one, along with a lot of these kids that did not play, really haven't played any year.
Yeah.
And we're not making excuses, but at the same time, these kids are they're not just learning to come back and play, but into an entirely different system. So we got a lot of people that are still trying to figure it out, and we'll have plenty of opportunities to get better. But in the meantime, I'm like you. What you see out there is real. They're good kids. They're going to work hard, and we're going to get better. We weren't very good tonight, but we're going to get better.
And, Roger's basically doing the same thing too. He's kind of. It's not like you haven't coached, but you're coaching a system that you're still kind of getting accustomed to as well. But I know you're a guy that likes the paint touches, and you got two special ones, Zugna along with Chesterfield, who I think can be real special for you too.
And and they're both young too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that Maddie's played a couple years prior to coming here, but I mean, from the height standpoint, and both have good touch around the goal. I think that part of the future is definitely bright.
It's got to be more of a sense. I think you got to find that one person. I know you have Silva that's out there and doing that kind of that leader. But it seems when you're in search of a bucket, there's got to be that one person. I know that you're still kind of in search for that a little bit. We got to find a way to end a run, and I think that their second half and that third, you started and then they went on that run. We just couldn't find that one bucket. Even though we're running stuff to get somebody a bucket, we couldn't seem to find that.
Right, and that that's difficult because it's a lot harder as a coach when you have to run a play to get a bucket instead of having somebody that can go get one for you. So, that's something we're going to have to develop and work out.
And that's just that's the beauty of this team, I think. And I think, you take it because I see a lot of these faces and names. I'm like, oh, yeah, she was with us last year. Yeah. And I remember, but I didn't see her on the floor a whole lot. So we're getting people with a lot of meaningful minutes. And I think that's the thing. And we're trying to figure this thing out going forward. And I know it's disappointing tonight. and I know that it is. And I know that Young Harris came in here and that, had a career high from somebody that maybe probably wasn't expected. We're sitting here watching it, and the way that they played, they had a little bit of a short staff, as far as their numbers that they played, here this evening. But it's a team that has great determination and great effort. I was impressed with Edwards' game. I don't know if I had expected that coming in. To what and her ability, the Lynn transfer, but 27, and she just seemed to be able to find a bucket today, and that was tough for us to defend.
And I think that she kept them afloat. I mean, I think she was in a different. I mean, and it's easy to say that when somebody scores that many points, but in terms of breaking runs and being able to get them a bucket when they needed it, she carried a big load for them tonight.
All right, that's my take anyway, and my take matters very little. This is an opportunity for this team to get better, and I think that's how you have to look at it, going forward. It's always tough in the regional, when you're playing before the conference and you're trying to kind of sort yourself out just a little bit. How do you sort yourself out now before Saturday? What do you guys do, and how do you handle that as you get ready for a Saturday game?
Well, obviously, I think we have to reevaluate, some things in terms of how our team fits our system.
Yeah.
And, watch a lot of film and see, if we're right in what we think we see. You know how that goes. You've been doing this a long time, Brian, but we'll watch some film and we'll work out again Thursday night and Friday to get ready for Georgia Southwestern.
Yeah, listen, I love the groups coming in here. Learning the names to me today was a challenge.
Yeah.
Getting that down and making sure I was saying them right, number one. But I like the fact that we come out there and do that battle of attrition, in there. And I do think it's a matter of just tweaking that and going through it. And I know you're still working it out.
Absolutely.
For sure.